don't know why that was so funny, girl. I am just.
Don't blame me. 'Cause I be awkward sometimes. A lot of times, actually.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm glad you can relate. It's so good to have you back. Can I call you
It's
Jane?
yeah, that's what people call. It's too much to be calling me. Some people started calling me TPJ, and I'm like, okay. But I understand the punishment. That's too much to be saying every time. Just too much.
TPJ, that means you don't got cool with the people. They giving you, your little short nickname.
It's something I embrace it.
I love it. You know what? It's a lot of things going on. I mean, it is a lot of things going on. And I'm so happy that I have you here with me to break everything down because I need somebody to help me get through this.
It's a lot. It's been really entertaining though. We have some weeks that's just boring, and it's nice to have a plethora of different things outside of Jada or Chris because like okay, like I was becoming sick.
Look, don't
Every
don't talk too fast though, because I may have to throw a little bit of it in today.
No, I mean it's cool, but it's just like everybody's running their channel different. Some channels or publications like, okay, you've done 24 videos since it happened. I mean, and that's the whole video. Like, let it rest and talk about something else. Can we? But luckily, we got a lot of things now, so it's cool.
Yes. You know what? It was the slap heard around the world, and it was so much fun at first, but you're right. It was just starting to squeeze the life out
Hmm.
of our social media timelines. It just was nuts. But
Yeah.
you know what? On to some better things. And one thing I have to tell you, I don't play about is our little old folks.
Mm.
I don't play about them. And I'm gonna tell you more, but first, I gotta hit that intro so y'all can know where y'all at.
That intro was
Yo, you got a couple of dance moves over there, huh? Doing the intro.
it was lit. You got a lit intro. It gets the people going.
I do what I can. I do what I can. You know, Jane, you take me as somebody who can handle your own. Can handle your own. I don't know if
Mama.
you find elders as important as I do, but I know one thing. If you mess with my grandma, you're gonna have hell to pay. Okay?
Hmm.
You don't play with my grandma. So I have to ask you, what is going on in the world today where it just seems like these teens and these children just don't have respect for the elders? I don't know if you heard about this, but look at this video right here. This happened recently in the Bronx. A 13-year-old girl was busted for mugging an elderly
Mm.
woman, leaving her hip broken. Now,
Mm.
this is just horrific. This woman was 76 years old. How how do you do that?
We are so desensitized and not connected, and it's basic respect. Like just violence in general. Like women and children are off limits, but especially
Yes.
elders. I hold elders to the same esteem that I hold like innocent babies. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
Yes.
just not to say I don't care about people in the middle like you are not age, but it's just
Mhm.
like come on, like how much wisdom and how much you know like just experience we get from them. But also I feel like not to excuse any type of violence, but the streets used to lay down like not babies, not children, and not,
Mhm.
now they just the elders aren't like spitting game or they just we don't have the same morality level if we have any at all. Like this is a ruthless like era. The cultural shift has been on a decline for some time now. It's kind of alarming, honestly.
It's very alarming because there used to be fear as well in doing certain things. Like you knew if you got caught doing a certain type of thing, that the whole neighborhood was going to come down on you. And it's just too many resources out there, even when you're struggling to result to doing something like this. When you hit an old person and you hurt that hip, when you get old, you could hurt your hip just by just walking out your door, and injured hip has taken a lot of older people out of this world. Do you hear what I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you? So to she better be glad she found the right elder per se, because a lot of elders down here in the South who would have had a
A bag
two-faced
of
arrow
nickels.
staring back at you, and you
Yeah.
13, and you still got room to grow, but wow.
How did I? Mm. Can we see the clip, or have you?
I don't look. I don't have a clip,
Child.
but it looks like I do, right? Because it's got the big.
That right. I was like, she ain't gonna hit play.
I'm sorry, but you know what? I don't even like to see things like this.
No, you're right. I agree.
So I can only imagine, and it looks like the person in the red pants is laughing. Like it's not a good view, but it
Mm-hmm.
looks like that person is smirking.
Yeah.
Boy,
I
I
just
tell you,
this generation is just out of pocket. I can't.
out of pocket. I just had to bring that up. But I know something that's gonna really get you going, and I don't know if you're ready for it. I know you're ready for it, but your boy Ti, girl, he has
Child.
had quite the news cycle. Quite the news cycle. Rapper turned comedian for the last 2 months.
Uh, it's karma is swift sometimes. Other times you may not get back what you dish out as fast. But I think
Mhm,
that this is collective karma for Ti, but also like the proximity between the
mhm,
last situation where he just so happened to be heckling and belittling and kind of trying to discourage and ruin somebody's set, and the fact that this has happened to him, and it's just like, listen, it's been 6 weeks, yo. It's been 6 weeks. Why you have no business at an arena? Like
mhm.
you have no business. Why you at an arena when you need to learn how to read small rooms? That you set yourself up for failure on that note, but even still, like it was just sad. And the fact that he can't take criticism well, other comedians
No.
trying to put him on game, they gonna put you on game in a brutal way. Like he needs to be humble. But the difference with Ti and other comedians, he feel like he don't have to work on his craft,
Right.
and he his level of celebrity gives him, perhaps it he gets farther with the opportunities that he's able to accept or that are offered to him because of his celebrity. Other comedians don't get that, but even still, you might think that boost is doing something for you, but really you just humiliated yourself, bro. Like you can't skip steps. I just can't. I'm practicing my boo because the 15th I'm gonna be there to see him for myself.
Well, I can't wait. So, this was Ti's first paid gig, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And to get booed, first of all, let me show you who he was with now. This
Mm-hmm.
is a star-studded cast, okay, of comedians. It's Rip Michaels, Nick Cannon, Ha Davis, Eddie Griffin, B. Simone, Tony Roberts, Bruce, Michael Blackston, Joe Torre. Pretty good lineup,
Mm-hmm.
okay? First paid gig. And if you look on a Rip Michaels, you see that this was at the Barclays Center.
Mm-hmm.
Not not a shabby place, okay? That's not a shabby place. You have to be ready for that. He's
Mm-hmm.
he's skipping steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When comedians start out, they hit the ground running. They have to go to these small nightclubs, they have to get their feet wet. And I also know they go to clubs sometimes and practice with fellow comedians, and they
Mm-hmm.
watch each other go up, because I was able to go once in Boston, and he missed out on that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen so many people say he's doing this for the wrong reasons. I didn't want to say that, because I want to believe and I want to be happy for people trying out different things because they're passionate about it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not into people just doing stuff to do it, but I think it's commendable if you have another love, or it's something that you always want to do and you stick your neck out to do it. But just respect the craft,
Mm-hmm.
especially being someone who's already been in entertainment, and you at the top of your game in another part of entertainment. the same respect you want new kids that rap to bring to that game that you did a lot of groundwork in. You want to
Hmm.
bring that same respect to comedy,
Hmm.
and I think that's what's missing.
He's arrogant. And again, when he was, when he was giving feedback, the stuff that Godfrey said, I know him and Godfrey, they go back and forth. But the stuff that Godfrey said, um it wasn't horrible. He wasn't dragging them. Of course, there's going to be a joke within criticism coming from a
Hmm.
comedian, but that is how they communicate. That is how they talk to the people that are coming into the game. Otherwise, they'll dilute your pool of what a standard is and how serious you are taking if y'all just let everybody in. Like the comedian world does gatekeep to an extent, especially black ones. So for
Hmm.
you to think that nobody's going to put you on game so that you can come in here and dilute this art that we've spent, like, no, we have to humble, you know what I'm saying? And the stuff that Godfrey wasn't even on a level where he was like coming at him.
Hmm.
So it's just for you to be so arrogant and to think that you're above reproach. Like, you can't approach comedy the way that you approach rap.
Hmm.
Sometimes you'll catch a rapper that can come in and just is so captivating. They doing something different. It needed to be revived. It was dying a little bit. Boom. It'll happen every now and then. You can just infiltrate. But comedy is not like that. And a lot of people are coming from somewhere, like the skit comedians trying to jump into comedy and do stand up. It's not the same. It's not your seat. You still gotta, like
Right.
it. You have to do. But he thinks he's above that, and then he even said one time, this where it really comes back to bite him. He said comedy is easy.
Oh my God, he did. Oh, Ari Spears done got on. Ari Spears has been on
Yeah.
my show, and he's blunt. Okay.
Oh yeah. I heard what Ari Spears had to say to him, and he was 100%, 195%. Like, right. But it was the same tune as with the other, three or four comedians had
Hmm.
chimed in, on Instagram, and when I was doing my research today. And I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, you gotta get this feedback. And him getting off on Instagram Live immediately
Hmm.
afterwards, talking about, I like the booze, I love the booze. Um, and Michael Blackson's just like laughing at him. And I'm like, Michael Blackson, instead of you just painfully laughing and making him feel like that, and pretending like you enjoy that humiliation,
Oh
like,
yeah, Ti said he appreciates it
I
or something
appreciate,
like that, right? He appreciates.
yeah,
I mean, it's
like,
and what I like about Ti, because I'm a fan of his rap, is that his confidence is cool in hip hop. It's very much needed, okay. But it's just I get trying to smile through embarrassment and trying to smile through an awkward moment. But you're right. Sometimes it'll be nice just to see him kind of just maybe even just be quiet and just take a moment in for a second.
mm-hmm.
I don't know why when he says it does come off like a little arrogance, but it may just be his swag. I don't want to give him no excuse. Look, you just not having it, Jay. What is
I've covered him so many times before with other stuff, like, you know what I mean, like when the allegations first came out with Tiny. I've had communication and made videos on Shakana, and like, I just knowing like intricate different, like that legal situation that I covered and all that other stuff. Like, he is so manipulative. It's like he just be so wrong caught in 4K, and still will try to just use four-syllable words to explain his way out of it. Like, no, you said I didn't call her the B word.
right?
If you can provide some video footage of me calling you the B word, I'll give you, because I didn't. I bet she produces the footage. He still is, well, here's some exposure. Like, no, like, you directly like, he's just a mess. I can't. And it's the willful ignorance, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
and if you're
right.
gonna be that arrogant that you feel like you need to come up with a response every time instead of really absorbing the knowledge so that you can improve, being a smart aleck, or being a smart ass and not studying, like, it's not gonna get you anywhere, bro. Like, he did that one acting role and felt like I just walked into, what was that movie called? ATL.
Yes.
Like,
Well, you know what? You are right because, like, as far as Ti is on things, and well, I guess okay, being business smart don't necessarily equate to. He should have said to himself, "Let me start small." But I think when he when like Tiny, his wife, tried to take up for him and say, well, he's gotten some good compliments from some great comedians. I think because when she says things like that, he's holding on to that and thinking that he could start at their level. Because remember, when he acted in the movie with Denzel Washington, he said, Denzel Washington said, I don't need no acting class or something. He said, Denzel Washington said I can act. But it's like, okay, Denzel Washington said that because I don't, you know what I'm trying to say. It's like you still need to start off slow.
It's the willful
You're not
ignorance for
on
me.
that
Like,
level.
you holding on to what your wife is saying is like, it's what your secretary is going to do. It's like,
Mhm.
well, he's, just reinforce his references. Okay, so you're referring to three people back there that say he was good, meaning there's no room for improvement. There's no room for him to study. Like the greats, like
Mhm.
the Red Foxes and the Eddie Murphys and the Richard Pryors and whatever. I think that he he knows that they were very haphazard and they were pretty raunchy and arrogant, but that's an
Mhm.
art form. That's not
Right.
something you can come in and mimic. Like, and that was that, and because he just so happy. And it's like, no, man, the Hyman Gate, you remember when he was doing that whole
Mhm.
thing with his daughter's results and all this, like,
That was a lot for me.
yeah. Back in the day it was different. Like, don't get me wrong, like the jokes from back in the day when you play them up against today's like standards and expectations, it'd be like, whoa, that would never fly. But that's the thing, that would never fly, and we're in 2022 and you're trying to keep that. And
Mhm.
they were more like, that was their lifestyle. They breathed that. Like Eddie Murphy made two R&B songs.
Mhm.
I don't know if it was Little Red Corvette or whatever. Like, but that was just one time he dibbled over that and he came right back over. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and they were good songs, but he doesn't like to study. He feels like he can talk his
Mhm.
way into places, and sometimes you talk your way into places because you have the gift of gab, but you still end up making a fool of yourself once you talk yourself up there because you can't deliver.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And that's when you need a real friend who would be Shakana, but
hmm
they kick her out their circle.
I mean, she can be somewhat of a PR nightmare sometimes, so it's best that she just sit at home. But there's so much potential for her. Like
But
there,
Shakana, the home girl that's gonna she stay right there with you though. She may be a little silly, but she gonna keep it real, and you need some people like that. And
yeah.
she did say that Ti was like this. So
hmm
I mean, and she even said on her page, because when she tried to go live on Instagram, it was people trying to bring Ti getting booed up, and she say, "Hey, don't come on my page talking about you bringing some other people up." She wouldn't say the name, you know.
She's very fair. She is a very fair person. She has her emotional moments. She has the moments where she might say a bit too much,
Mhm.
but she is very fair when it comes to having a moral compass. She really is. And that accent, I could just listen to all day. All day. I don't care what she's talking about, but it's just so funny and cute to me.
Aw. Well, you know what? And I'm gonna play this video, and hopefully YouTube has no problems with it. But let's actually see Ti being booed. How about that?
Sitting there with my family for the first shot of tequila of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I see a motherfucker in my commercial doing shit like this. Is that you? Why you ain't saying like this? It is.
Is that you, Jane? Is that you?
I'm just practicing. I'm just practicing.
What you mean?
I'm just practicing because it was just a hot mess. And I have a theory. I do have a theory. I think he's arrogant. He feels like he does. Some people can go to class and just like not do the homework and still keep up. But you get to a
Mm.
point where that might have worked the first and second semester. It might have worked. It's not going. But I have another theory, and I'm gonna talk about it later on tonight in my live. So, um,
Dang, you gonna? She just
I,
she ain't gonna. We can't get the exclusive here, huh? We can't get the exclusive thoughts.
I
So care they just stop.
he
She,
he got this goal. He's got this goal, and he feels like he feels like I won't give it all away, but he's got this goal.
Oh,
And
I see where you going with it.
I found some stuff that he said a while ago, and I'm like, oh, this is what you're trying to do. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, y'all make sure y'all head over to the Plainestjane channel to catch that exclusive when she drops her thoughts later on. Look, you and Ti need how you say the lady name? I always say it wrong. The lady with Oprah, Ayana.
Oh, Iyala fix my life.
Yeah, y'all need her. Okay, I don't know what Ti did to you. I'm gonna get y'all some help.
I know his type. He's annoying.
And I just want to let people know, in one part of the show, Ti made a joke about sleeping with somebody's mom, and it didn't go over well. So I think people are sick of sexual escapades right now. I think just take it easy on that.
From him,
has messed that up for everybody. Nobody,
of all people, making jokes like that.
Nobody want to hear about your romps and what you got. You're dipping and you're dabbing, as Wendy Williams can say.
Please, yeah, dipping and doing it.
Dipping and doing it. I can't keep up. Look, the pancakes are showing up. The Plainestjane. There go your people.
Yeah, I dropped it in the Discord. I was like, y'all, come on over here.
I love it. So we got 2 content creators on here, and yet I still always forget to say, make sure you go ahead and like this video and leave a comment and talk in the live chat and let us know what you guys are thinking about the topics and everything. We love to see that. And make sure you subscribe to the Plainestjane channel as well as Kera Dangerous Talk. How about that? Yes. Now, I have to say, I've gotten so much pressure over the years when I go to theme parks, because I always feel like I have to live up to how I was when I was a kid. You know, I wanted to ride on everything. Some things I wouldn't ride, but for the most part, I was fun. And I just, I felt the pressure over the years. But to me, when you get 30, sometimes your body just don't do the roller coasters the same way, okay?
Yeah.
They're not my number one choice.
Especially if you done ate something.
Oh my goodness.
If I done ate something, absolutely not.
Absolutely. Girl, my whole body feel like it need to be built back together when I go on a roller coaster, okay? Nerve pain, joint pain, all the kind of pain you could ever think of is what I'm going through. But have you noticed lately that there seem to be more and more accidents at the theme parks? Now, not only do I have anxiety sometimes before I get on the rides, now I got to worry about if you lock me into my damn seat. In the last month, we heard of the black kid, the black teenager. He fell out of this same type of ride. Yeah. And now at Sydney's Royal Easter Show, terrifying scenes of the 4-year-old boy is left unrestrained. And he was seconds from being flung out into the air. Look at this. Look at that. Can you imagine?
That's terrible. And see, even the kids next to him can see that something is wrong here, because it's too much. See, at some point, they're going to have to figure out like where the liability lies within those types of mistakes. Like, is that something, like, I feel like if you made a personal liability, it might be a bit different. Like, if this person, like, I don't know, like, there's got to be something to alleviate this. And, I know amusement parks hire a lot of teenagers, but it's like, listen, y'all need to have certain tests, certain quality checks every quarter of, the year. They need to be going through tests, a mystery, something to improve y'all rate. Like, this error rate is too high. Y'all need more training to run these rides, or just stop it. Like,
I have to say, y'all need to be more like me, because first of all, I'm psycho about it. I'm looking at everybody on my road on a roller coaster, and I'm looking, are you locked up already? Are you locked up? If I see them,
I'm pulling mine up.
That little burden machine, I'm not buckled in yet. You know, I'm
Mm-hmm.
acting a straight up monkey, straight up
Mm-hmm.
ape. Okay, you gonna lock me down in the seat? Okay. First of all, I don't want my last experience to be at the damn
Mm-mm.
fair.
But I
You
used
know.
to get on. I did used to get on everything, and so sometimes it do feel like okay, like I've always been this kind of like roller coaster, like Daredevil or whatever. But I had got on this one at the state fair at the Maryland State Fair, had me bang out because I was about to be so sick. I was like, this is gonna be so messy if I get sick in this thing.
Oh
Like it
my
is
goodness.
not gonna be okay. And I had to ask to get off, and that was so embarrassing because the operators was laughing at me and everything. It was terrible, but I had to get off of there, and I was just like, I think I was like 24 or something. I was like,
Mhm.
dang, it was terrible. I was like, oh, I don't got time to be.
Look, girl, one time I talked to my therapist about this because I felt I was under pressure. I was had a trip coming up for Six Flags, and I was like, but my friends gonna want me to ride. And my therapist was like, but Kara, you know you don't have to ride if you don't want to, don't you? And I'm just like, I remember I was going up a roller coaster and on a wooden roller coaster, the ones that jerk you and give you whiplash,
Hmm.
okay? The ones that make your body feel like they're about to crumble. And all I know is my friend said, Kara, are you scared? And I'm like, no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. It just for some reason I was just having a little anxiety. And the guy behind me, and literally all I did was just look back. I'm trying to see the scenery. And he goes, yeah, just relax. And I'm like, who asked you? Who asked you? I am trying to get comfortable, sir. I am trying to get my mind right, okay? I don't know. Sometimes I can handle the theme part, but it was a couple of episodes where I could not.
Yeah, I prefer to do water rides and things, and the stuff that's just like mild. Like I can do the Hulk, like in Universal Studios or whatever. But anything crazy where it's the tallest and no, thank you. I'm good. I mean, well, it depends if it's got like a lot of twists and turns or not. But yeah, that claw thing because you be seeing some of them be even coming off like between people
Oh
falling
my,
off. I seen one where that little 4th of July like claw thing, the
oh
whole
my.
arm disconnected, and the people went over there. I'm like, where are the regulations? That's what I'm saying. Like,
And you
mm-mm.
guys think I'm about to do that parachute thing people be doing and just throw you up in the air and girl,
It's too
hell
much.
no.
It's too many especially at the fairs. Not to say that the parks be any better, but them little carnivals that just pop up and go from parking lot to parking lot, they dangerous. They are dangerous.
Oh
Like,
my goodness. Stop putting pressure on your friends, guys, when you go to the theme park. Nobody's doing that anymore, are they? That was a couple of years ago. Nobody's pressuring no
you
adult.
ain't bullying me into passing out on no daggone ride. You see them videos of them people be passing out.
Oh,
Your body gets so scared it just shuts the body. Now I've never, passed out, but I've certainly felt sick before. I never got sick, but yeah, people be passing out and all the time.
you ever felt like when once you got in the ride, you were in there, but like it was maybe it was too much room in it, and you felt like you just gonna slide right on out of there, or like you in a ride with somebody and they bigger than you and they smush you. Like I was on one of those rides that go like this at the fair, go round and around, and somebody bigger than me was sitting next to me, and then when the ride went like this, then they crushed me, and I'm trying to hold on for dear life on the rail. And I'm like, oh God, please don't let this be my last ride, my last day. I'm
Look,
gonna be crushed and smushed here at the fair.
I push it down as much as until I can get to the last click. The last click. No, you ever been on there with somebody who actually was too big and had to get off?
Oh my God.
I've been there a couple times. Young people and old people, because they be trying to hold, they be like, oh, let me take this out my pocket, da da da. And they be like, and they be trying to, and they be
I know.
like,
I've been. Oh,
you above you. They be like, no, I can get it. Like, you above. And they wobble up. I'll be over here when it in. I like, you damn right, because I'm not getting off with you.
oh. I got a funny story, but I don't. But I'm scared to tell it. But You ever okay? This happened to me when I went somewhere with a bunch of people, and one of my friends, we were on the swings. And those swing seats can be small. And I kept trying to tell everybody, come on and get on the swing. Come on and get on the swing. And I was like, why you ain't coming? Then my friend on the swing was like, now they too big for the swing. And I'm like, Lord.
Oh, hell yeah, the swings that just be
and like me, because I'm like a blonde, and at the moment I'm just like whoosh, just over my head. I'm like, come on, why you ain't coming on the swing? And my friend's like, I'm good.
Not you inviting them friends on the swings. You know better. Come on now.
Oh, I feel so bad. Oh man, I feel so bad. Even just thinking about that is crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I would skydive. Somebody in the chat said, would y'all ever skydive? Yeah, I don't think that might be for me. I don't think.
I've had so many friends who have skydived, and I don't like heights at all. I'm better with them than I used to be, but I'm not gonna volunteer to skydive, even though my name is dangerous. I'll stay dangerous on the ground. Hillary, will you marry?
On television.
Yes. You don't want to be Trevor from the Fresh Prince.
Not happening.
Speaking of malfunction, well, first of all, make sure y'all check y'all kids' seats, okay? First of all, because they're not locking the seats at these theme parks, okay? Boom. Now, speaking of malfunction, this is a story that happened a while ago. Actually, this happened to this woman in 2016. But this woman here, Katrina Bookman, tried to sue the Resorts World Casino. She says they refused to give her the 43 million jackpot she won by playing a Spence, what do you call those machines? Slot machines. How am I gonna forget the slots? I love the slots, first of all. They don't even make no sense. So it would have been the largest jackpot to have been won in the history of jackpots. Now get this, Plain Jane. They offered this lady, instead of giving her 43 million, because they said it was a malfunction. And anybody who goes to the casino knows they actually have signs, or it says on the machine, in case of malfunction, payments and such will be voided. Okay, so I always wondered how if they can just, when they can decide it's a malfunction or not. But it actually happened to this lady. So can you believe they tried to offer her instead a steak dinner and $2.25, which she won on that spin, they said.
Absolutely. Child, let me tell you something. I would be causing them hell in any way that I could. I would be causing them hell. I mean, whether I got to be outside with a picket sign, whether I got to sue, I'm setting up campaigns to send to all the people that want to come in there. I'm causing a disturbance. I'm turning into Squidward off of SpongeBob with the clarinet.
Girl, I'm going nuts. Okay,
like
y'all, I'm going nuts in there.
Like this is a kiddie casino with this is a Chuck E. Cheese. That's what I would like. This is Chuck E. Cheese if y'all not paying people nothing but stuff that we just redeeming tickets here, like a steak that. No, absolutely not. No.
I'll be standing in the middle of the casino like, it's a malfunction when I win. Okay,
right.
When I win,
I was about to say, because if it was somebody that wasn't black, you would have gave them that money, because Karen would have been Karening.
Look, your ass gonna have a malfunction and you don't give him my damn money. Okay, that's what I'll be saying.
Ain't happening.
Now look at this lady. She went from, I really can't believe this, at the top, to look. Now I'm sick of y'all. Y'all playing with my money. Now I want my money.
That's true. Oh,
look, a damn steak dinner. Now, see, the complaint was that the resort is guilty of negligence and failing to maintain its lottery equipment, further claiming the event caused Katrina Bookman mental anguish and that she suffered a substantial financial loss since she missed the possibility and a chance to win on the device. A stake, James, this walked me through. You won $43 million. Then I tell you, no, well, first they asked her to come the next day so they could explain um some rules. And when she came, that's when they told her and tried to offer the $2 in the stake, which is a total insult. How do you think at that moment, what do you think?
I'm gonna go get my attorney because they must have played, people they played right in her face. They played right in her face. Like if a manager walks over to a table, like in a restaurant, like I work in a restaurant, and they feel like this person don't even understand, I'm just about to, and they get over on people. They played in this lady face. I'm not saying that this was maybe this. Go get your attorney, girl.
Oh, she got an attorney now. She's got an attorney now.
Go get your attorney. Bad press. Interview. Do an interview tour. Okay. Go on tour. Go to every news station every day. Put on your best.
Now this is a good point, James. How many people you think would have just that night when you go home and you thinking you won 43 million, you calling your job and you saying kiss my butt?
You gotta be a fool. You gotta be a fool. This is not the movies. You wait until some things pan out first. You wait until you sit down and you get at least something tangible, even if it's a percentage, because obviously any large lump sum you don't want, like blah, 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 blah. But like you a fool. You a plumb fool for going home and being that impulsive. What did you drink? You went home.
High off of thinking you won $43 million.
I'm not quitting that night. No. And at some point, like you gotta still maintain some level of normalcy for the sake of survival. Like you can't just be that person that just won the lottery. Like you understand how dangerous that is from all aspects, not even just physically. Like play it off, my bro, especially until you get something. Then I just disappear. But no.
Look, like this lady comment, I'll be like that old lady on Martin when Martin tried to get her that tuna sandwich. I don't like no damn tuna. Like, I don't want no damn steak. You better give me my $43 million. Oh, we got some old school people in the comments talking about counting the chickens before they hatch. Yes.
She got to be all types of food to just go home and do that. Is you crazy?
This is somebody who wants their money. I just
Stop
want to
playing
see this
with her.
photo one more time. Don't play
Big
with
Crump, where you at? It's like, no.
Do not play with this lady.
Big Crump, where you at?
Big Crump. He'll get you your money. That's for sure.
Yeah, okay. He'll get you a percentage because he's gonna take the rest.
Woo. Oh Lord. Look. Malfunctions. And now we got something that just went totally right. And I call this singing your way to freedom.
Okay.
Now this story is older, but it's still worth mentioning it because it was kind of trending on Instagram this week. Now, apparently this child was kidnapped and he was freed because the kidnapper was annoyed by his singing of gospel songs. Oh.
A man of the Lord. A young man of the Lord.
God, come on through.
Won't he do it?
He will. He do it? What kind of demons you got to get rid of the person you kidnapped?
Because you can't handle a little Jesus? Really now?
Right.
Really?
Well, obviously, he didn't want to harm the kid because he could have just, he could have slapped him or something like Will Smith. Or, I don't want nobody to slap a kid. I'm just saying, he let him go.
I mean, like, you got to think about it. It's either like, Dad, you really can't handle a little bit of Jesus, or them gospel songs had you thinking like, dang, God don't want me to do this. Right. Man, you right. Jesus, that's not right. Let me go here. Like, which one was it? Like,
You right,
Either
that
way,
guilty
this
conscience
isn't.
came through, you think? I want to know what Negro spirituals was this kid singing. Did he go old school gospel?
Maybe it was. I don't,
Did he sing the Clark sisters? I mean,
the old
so,
school stuff is enough to make you want to put a kid out the car or to get out the car yourself. Sometimes the real old ones, but he probably singing that new stuff. Kirk Franklin, Mary, Mary, probably something newer than that. Todd Tribbett.
this was such a feel good story. It's like that is what you wish for. That's David in the lion's den, and he
Mm-hmm.
somehow gets out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So
God knew.
that's amazing. So speaking of church,
Mm-hmm.
I know you got a lot to say about Kurt Franklin's son.
Well, I mean, just the facts, which is that he's been arrested on suspicion of being connected to the unaliving, so to speak, right? The N word. I don't know what words you say or how far you take it on here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, N wording a woman because he was driving a vehicle that didn't belong to him. It actually belonged to the woman who is alleged to be deceased,
Mm-hmm.
and that he was arrested in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, but upon the being pulled over in the altercation, there were also some charges in Texas that he needed to be immediately extradited to go there to face those couple of felonies. They say, according to Larry Reed. And then there was some resisting arrest charges, and who knows if those things are true. It's Kerrion's word against the police officer word. We haven't seen any footage, but he says that there was, like, he maintains his innocence, and he says that what he wasn't resisting arrest. He was really just trying to explain himself. But there was also, a gun found in the car as well. So it's just, you know, a bad situation all the way around. Who knows what his relation is to the woman's vehicle, the victim's vehicle that he was driving. There are just a lot of questions, and we're just waiting on an update at this point.
You've really been following this story, so I kind of would like a personal opinion on what you think about young Franklin here. We know his dad, we don't know him, and I don't want to say the wrong things about him because all I know initially about him is the whole thing with Kurt Franklin was cursing at him. But what are you thinking about his character? Does trouble follow him? Is he trouble, or is he just a hurt kid that needs some help?
He's hurt. There is a certain amount of a large opportunity for him to be seeing somebody, to help manage his emotions. He very openly expresses being alienated from his family, and is oftentimes just kind of like by himself a lot, like out in the world, and or for me, in my opinion, people who are isolated from their family, just kind of wandering around solo, like literally in the world, state to state, whatever. Sometimes they can get caught up in the wrong crowd because there's no acceptance that they're just out here, and everyone kind of needs love, even if it's just like on a friend level. And so, or just, interaction, or just to be like embraced by a group of people. So I in my opinion, I feel like Kerrion hasn't had some of the best influences, and there's a lack of balance there. And I feel like, yeah, he did, because sometimes it's listening to him speak and things like that, like sometimes he's just like not in his right state of mind, and you just wonder why, or what's going on, like what are you using, like sometimes.
Well, because some people go really hard on him, and so I didn't know if you had any hard feelings for him, or felt like he just kind of need to grow up, or that
I do feel like he need to grow up, but I feel like two things can be true at one time. Like he also needs to take some accountability, but also I can see how like the alienation from when he said it till now, and it was like a couple years ago since he actually went viral. I've like been following him closely, and I'm like, dang, you know, and based on some, I do have a, you know, a source, a family friend. You know, it's it's difficult kind of like dealing with him or whatever. So he is alone a lot, and he doesn't have any
Mhm.
guidance. He doesn't have any role models. That's why Larry Reed kind of stepped in to kind of um be there for him, because he feels like his father just is embarrassed by him, wants to keep this perfect
Mhm.
image. And that's why his son ends up bleeding over onto the internet. Not saying that Kerrion don't have some accountability to take, like, stop just slapping this stuff on the internet and being mad when you're judged or when people are running with this information. But at the same time, I can understand your father's disassociation because of his image, you know, and not wanting to take accountability for some of the stuff that has happened to Kerrion, honestly, that I've been able to confirm. And his father just not wanting to take that accountability, like, it leaves a scar. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, family issues, they run deep there for sure.
Only thing I have to say is I wish I could put it like that, but I guess I've just become so realistic with people, and even sometimes when it's a child, I'm not gonna be quick to say, and you know way more about it than I do. But some children are just bad apples, and the parents can be good, and the children just they want to do everything they can to kind of dirty what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people felt about this kid. And I think because of Kurt Franklin's reputation. Now, if anything ever come out that the clean image that we think that he is, I mean, he's human too. I don't think that his image has been where we don't think that he can't make any mistakes. But at the same time, I think it's almost like a Will Smith thing. Hate to bring him up again, but until he just slapped somebody, people looked at him as this do-gooder, this safe Negro in Hollywood, so to
Hmm.
speak. And so until Kurt Franklin completely goes off, he had the little curse and spat, but many with his son, but many people excuse it as just being a father and son thing. So I don't know. Work on your problems, fellas. I hope the young guy, gets better with his dad's relationship, so it can be some healing there.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the age for you. He is 34 years old.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. It's time to, grow, grow up and to not overshare as much, because um yeah, sometimes, it's just like, with the recording situation,
mhm,
telling and manipulating the story to only expose what they did wrong and not what you did to contribute to this explosion, which is a collision of multiple different variables. You can't act like you were a saint here
mhm.
100%, um so, but I do think there's a lot to potentially unpack, but also none of us are there, so.
I thought you was gonna say none of us are perfect, but because I am, so I wasn't gonna agree with that. But anyways, I just want to remind people again to make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video and this channel. Also, go over to the plainest Jane and show her some love by subscribing as well. And thank you guys who are in the live chat. We really appreciate it. Oh, and something that I've been forgetting to say, but be sure if it's on your heart to send me some donations to Cash App Kera Dangerous. I'm not a beggar, but any donation will help to continue to fund things that I need for this show. So I'll appreciate that, guys. Cash App Kera Dangerous. Okay, so I got something that isn't very surprising, but it's how to show you. Ugh.
Sheesh Louise.
The screen almost broke.
Oh,
I
not
had
almost
to
broke.
put this Kera Dangerous Talk logo over that because I didn't want YouTube to get any ideas.
Ugh.
Okay, but if you don't know what this is, okay, it's not a roast. Okay,
Oh my gosh, not a
it's
roast.
it's not a roast. It's Lizzo's behind again. We've become very familiar with her behind. and she's getting on a plane. I don't know, why do we need to see this, uh Jane? You got me confused. The plane is Jane, TPJ. What why?
Um, I look, I she does this for attention. She loves the attention. But she feels like she is above getting like diverse attention, like both sides of the fence. And it's at this point, it's sickening. Like, why does she do this? I feel like she's trying to compensate for something that's not there, and it's really sad because I do find Lizzo to be talented, especially
Mhm.
fundamentally like talented too, because of, like a lot of her like framework is based on like she has studied the craft, like she does, like but at this point, it's like, girl, we are forgetting that you are a musician.
Mhm.
At this point, like, what's going, like, what are you, a socialite or online media? These antics is like just, and you know what? It's not. I know a lot of people, yeah, you're fat phobic. No, no,
Mhm.
unprovoked ass is annoying, especially repeatedly when that's all it is. If it like it's just too much. Whether it's Meg the Stallion, who this
Mhm.
a big, small craters, no craters, work no. Stop just shoving it down my throat. But in the case of Lizzo, it's just like do something flattering. She came out with shapewear, which really isn't
Right.
shapewear. It's like Target stretchy undies. It's just soft. It's not
Mhm.
shaping anything. And then she's like, buy my stuff, but it's a picture of her and she just rolled out of bed with a wedgie. Like,
Yeah, something's not right to me there. Like somebody said here, she'll cry in 2 hours. It has to be a lack of confidence, because my thing is she can play the flute, or at least she can play a couple notes good enough, because that we all seen her play that flute. She
mm-hmm,
can dance and she can sing, and she's really good.
mm-hmm.
If I could do all three of those things, I don't see why I have to do all these other clownish. I have to have all this clownish behavior. And it's annoying when people hide this, try to package body shaming with the fact of them just doing too much.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that a friend of mine was saying how, even though they love the comedian Monique, which I like her too, when they met her, they told her, I like you, but let's be honest, all that positive big woman talk is just a load of crap, because at the end of the day, you know that your size is not healthy. Now, it's one thing to be okay in your skin and to encourage loving yourself no matter the size. Like, I'm overweight right now, and I still gotta love myself now, but I know that I need to lose some weight. And that's fine. But for some reason, when we get these people in these spaces of being in entertainment, they want to make it like it can only be one idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they can't just be big and say I love myself, but yeah, I would be healthier at a smaller weight. And the thing is, it doesn't even have to be a discussion anymore, but she makes it a discussion. At first it was like, okay, people are concerned about my weight, but to be honest with you, she was so talented, I don't think people were really even looking at that.
Right.
And but now you've made it this thing, and then you cry about it. Then you
Mm-hmm.
had it where if anybody said your name on YouTube, I believe it was, that you would get penalized as somebody who said her name. I forgot which social site it was. I don't know if you remember hearing that or not.
Facebook. I think it was Facebook.
Facebook. But I mean, come on. And it's like, whoever allows her to go on and continue to do these things, they part of the problem as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm gonna just be honest with you, and I don't care how people feel about this. You can get mad at me if you want. Yeah, some people do like people when they are overweight, but a majority of people, they don't want to see that, because there is a such thing as a healthy body for a man and a woman. And it's not to put people down. We didn't make the system, but being a little lighter on your toes is just healthier. Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
some, yep, it's, we can say, oh, it's a few big people who healthier than a small person. Yeah, that's true. But we know that primarily you need to be a healthy size. So why you keep walking around and acting like this is something that you should be proud of? And even besides the weight, just where it's the times that she wants to show her ass. You want to show your ass at a basketball game when you sit in these these $1,000 seats, and they see you on national TV, and children are walking by, and they can see your natural born birthday suit, and you think that's cute. It's the time she does it. If you would have showed me this picture and she was in Miami, or she was in the Bahamas, she was poolside somewhere, then maybe we wouldn't have such a reaction. It's just whatever.
No, that's true, because that takes the size aspect out of it. Because if this was Kim Kardashian with that, and if that was Kim Kardashian at the basketball game, like Kim just had to apologize for, like literally had to issue a whole apology because the internet ate her up, spit her out, all that, like chewed so bad. She told everybody to get your effing up and work. Like she has gotten to the point that regardless of how good she looks, people are still going to call her out, and to the point where they will eat you up so bad, and it's tearing at your image, and you have to issue a statement and apologize because you were born with this. Like, so people, oh, it's just because she, no, it's not. Like, you could, like, she is the Instagram, you know, standard of just like whatever it is that we are plagued with nowadays. Like, no, it's a mess. You should be doing that at Lizzo at the park, public park, kids out there, chaps out, like chaps just like that. No, a thong, leather thong. Okay. Like, I don't care if that's a Playboy bunny,
right?
Tyra Banks.
You see it too much, you're gonna get sick of it. It could be anybody. We just don't want to see your ass.
It's unprovoked.
Every time we see
it's unprovoked. It's terrible. I almost cussed my homegirl out this morning for texting that to my phone because I opened up my phone. I said, you know, like, I didn't ask to see this. Like, oh, but this is on her Instagram, and I do follow her on Instagram because I like her music. I used to have her on repeat when she came out with the song when she was playing a flute at the end with Missy Elliott in it. The name has escaped me, but she's got this song with Missy. Oh my goodness, I had that thing on repeat. Like, it was, but I don't want to see that all the time, Lizzo. No, I don't. Sorry.
Oh yeah. And I wasn't saying that being thin is always healthy, but come on, guys, because when people make comments like that, you know what I mean. Like, you know when you overweight, and she's overweight, and she needs to lose some weight. Is my point. Like when Monique was doing the whole big girls love thing, you seen that she worked out, and she said she ain't ever going back to being big. Because sometimes people, they talk with that confidence just to get over the hump, but she knew all along that was too much weight. Okay. And that's the same thing Lizzo's gonna do once she finally gets it in her head that she's going to eat healthy or live healthy. You won't even hear her ever doing this type of stuff anymore. To this point, she'll still try to be sexy, but you just watch and see. You just watch and see.
I agree. See, you know what, that's one thing I honestly I've learned in my life. People that are from down south, which you clearly, they be honest about weight. Like they not about the, like they do not beat around the bush about talking about, like, oh, I know you're bigger, but if you just maybe would switch around.
No,
like, no, you know that like y'all will just come flat out and say something about somebody weight, whether they too big. If you too small, be like, you need to eat a sandwich. They need to thicken you up. Like, why?
Are you girl, I'm like I said, I'm overweight now, some pounds, and everybody like, oh, here they go when they greet you. It ain't even hello, care is. Oh, you gained a little weight, ain't you? You know, it's like, well, damn, can you say hello?
Right.
You want to ask me how my day was? Baby, you all right? They just come up giving you tips, girl. Like, you know, you want to go ahead and get that off now, because when you get in your 40s, it's gonna be hard to get off. Did I ask you? No,
they do. It's offensive, and that's why I'm like, look, if you gonna dish it, just make sure you can take it. Okay. I don't care how old you is in my family. I'm tired of it. It makes me uncomfortable. I do not want to talk about my weight every time I show up for Thanksgiving or whatever holiday dinner. If you're going to dish out these jokes that make me uncomfortable, and I've been telling you for 5-7 years now that they make me uncomfortable, you know it makes me uncomfortable, and you keep picking at that. I know what makes you uncomfortable too. I'm about to pick at them orthopedic shoes. I'm about to pick at them titties hanging to the ground. I'm about to pick, and
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
say it, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna look you dead in the face because stop making me uncomfortable at this goddamn table. If it ain't my weight, it's what I graduated with versus what the
When you gonna have some kids?
what like stop. That's embarrassing. If I got the guy right here, how long it's been? Dang, when you gonna propose? Like that's so uncomfortable. Like stop that. I'm not y'all acting like I'm a child and I don't have a choice and I'm just supposed to sit here and take these jokes that y'all know is offensive because I done told you that they offensive and that they going too far. So now we gonna go too far together. Granny.
Look, your family want you to get your life. I that's what they saying in so many words.
We can get each other's lives. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom don't, and good advice don't always come from people that are older than you. So we can just
Now
for
that is
this.
true. That is
So
true. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt sometimes. But you
look,
know what? You just brought up a good point. And I have to say, I didn't get time to watch this show to confirm my feelings, but I don't think I have to. Now, I got this from Yahoo. It's a new Japanese show that's being seen here on Netflix where they send toddlers into busy cities on their own to do chores and use public transportation. Experts are torn on whether it's good. Now, see, if this was an American show, I would say, I don't know if I believe that they have a show like this, but as soon as I read Japanese, I'm like, yeah, I believe it.
their work ethic is and
Hello.
their work ethic is totally different than ours. Their standards of how young a child should start to insert a responsibility that comes as like it's just different. They be scared to fail a spelling bee in school because
Mhm.
they get, you know what I mean? So their culture is way more strict than ours. And don't get me wrong, like black people, our parents can be very strict on us at times with
Mhm.
certain things. But their culture is 100, and then they have a different respectability
Mhm.
politic. They take respect like so serious.
Mhm.
So yeah, I know that a lot of us, like I think the legal age of when you can leave a kid in the house is about 13 or 12 or something like that. But a lot of us can like
Mhm.
attest to times when we might have been 9, 8, 7, something like that. But that's just being left alone. It's responsibility, right? And it might have been you
Mhm.
and your other sibling, but it's not nowhere near the responsibility or you need to keep this secret. We know that it's not right, but you're
Mhm.
not supposed to tell nobody. If anybody asks you, don't open the door when you in here. You don't look outside. You don't answer the phone. That's a certain level of responsibility, but not the same as something that's adjacent to livelihood and sustaining the household. And they push the egg out of the nest, even though they keep the nest like close knit much sooner than us. So I mean, hey, I would be interested to see it because at this point it's like, dang, y'all don't have no safety measures, huh? Like, because for us, we would be like, always think about somebody snatching up our kid or somebody.
The plane is Jane. The plane is Jane. I said toddlers, not a teenager, a toddler.
It's still that's what I'm saying.
A
Like
toddler? A
it
toddler? You
it
got me like Soldier Boy. Dre?
they
Look,
live a different. I'm telling you, like they just, and I've seen different having different classmates around my age, like around elementary school and stuff. It was like what their parents expected of them was crazy. It was
look,
crazy.
Jane, I gotta see this to believe it. I gotta get on Netflix after this show. A toddler is considered between the ages of 1 and 3. If these toddlers
And
are
it might be
taking
even exaggerated by a handful of years, but even still, they
if
be
these
doing different stuff.
if
Like,
these toddlers are taking trains and doing chores, then we got a problem with
I
these
mean,
American toddlers.
but
Then
even so, you think about it, like back in our day, we had like grandfathers and great grandparents who literally dropped out in the fourth grade to go work and got married at that time.
Mhm.
And fourth grade is not a toddler, but it's like that's like 9, that might be
Mhm.
8 years old. Like that's crazy. And if that was a different market where it wasn't reading and writing, it was just straight manual labor, and you don't have to, you know. So if it's any, if the, their market and how their stuff is structured caters to that, yeah, it's about 4 years younger. But I did have a great great grandfather who he dropped out in
Mhm.
fourth, she dropped out in fifth, but they had been together since then, and they dropped out to work and tend to the household. It was wild. It was wild. I don't know. Not too unbelievable. I'll take that over the, remember the Netflix had came out with this show that was these
Oh, with
the
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 little girls with
cheerleader.
outfits on.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
What
That
was
was
it
just,
called? Sweeties or something?
it
Or
was something about cheerlead. I can't remember what it was
but
called, but
yeah, and they weren't wearing enough clothes.
not
I
at
know exactly
all.
what you're talking about. But the
Yeah.
problem I have with this is this article says the experts are torn on whether it's good.
Probably
I
because it sparks a debate about exploitation of
but
kids.
I what kind of experts are these? You ain't got to be an expert to see that ain't good. A toddler's supposed to be you learning how to potty train. Look, TPJ, look at this toddler, like a grown little woman right there.
Nah, she looked like the woman from what's that? Monsters Inc. What they be? The short lady with the glasses from The
Oh yeah,
Incredibles.
she does.
From I like that Bob. It's the Bob.
Oh wow. Well, you know what? Nobody bothers them. They can do it. Well, their children gonna be hell. Cause our children, some of them can't even learn to potty train, like I just said, let alone take a bus by themselves and go do some chores.
Mm-mm-mm. I can't.
Well, when you can't, they can.
I can't.
I got something for you. Now, bam. Britney Spears. Now I know we cover a lot of black content, but since we go way, me and Plain Jane go way back with Miss Britney Spears. But I have to tell you, Jane, I don't know what is going on with Britney because now people are saying, okay, first of all, Britney went to Instagram today or yesterday and announced that she was pregnant. But people are confused because they don't know if she's saying that she was food pregnant, whatever that means, or if she's really pregnant. But we think she's pregnant to her fiance, Sam Asghar. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. Excuse me if it isn't, but we'll just say good old Sammy boy. He's an actor. He plays in BT's The Family Business. He has a little role in that. And they've been together for around 6 years. It doesn't even seem like that long, but they've been together for a long time. Let's look at him one more time. They both like to be in the gym. It look like you ain't feeling it. Look like you ain't feeling it, Plain Jane.
Mm-mm. I'm not. I'm not, because I just don't know if he has her best interest. And I feel like Britney is, and not even I feel like Britney
Mhm,
Spears is still very vulnerable right now,
mhm,
considering what the just leaving her conservatorship, and where she is mentally. I feel like she has picked up from where she left off, like when she first
mhm,
got, her freedom seized or taken from her. Like she had the ability to technically move around, but her ability to be an individual and live life, and she was subdued a lot.
mhm.
And there was a time where she just kind of like this, she didn't have the opportunity to grow up, like just to grow up. So I feel like her mind is delayed a bit. And I just don't trust him. I don't trust
Even with the
him.
6 years, you don't
Yeah,
trust
I
them.
just don't. I feel like Britney Spears is still worth a lot of money. I wouldn't say crazy. Crazy completely trivializes what she's been through. And I mean, like that's like legitimate brainwashing, honestly, like using like medicine and stuff, like taking those years out of her life. Those are the years, if people are like skip past the 13 to 18, 19-year old, they're gonna have some
Mhm.
real issues. They were never able to exercise and work out just vital stuff. I don't trust them. And I feel like Britney Spears, and I'm not trying to police her body. I understand to some people be like, oh, just
Mm-hmm.
I really just don't feel like Britney Spears is in the space to be molding life. I feel like she still needs to live and work off and heal and get back to like reality a bit.
And that's why I want to hear her parents' side, even though they won't speak right now, because everyone was jumping down their throat. But I've been a big fan of hers in the past, and I don't, I want to hear from the parents because there's two sides to every story, and I think on a level that they tried to do the best they could with her. We don't know all the things that she's been through and how her behavior was so erratic back in the days in the 2000s, and I was part of those. And they could have had a fear she was gonna put herself in harm's way. And so like someone said in the comments, IUD, she was on that. Brittany did
Yeah.
state that she wasn't allowed to control her use of birth control
Hmm.
under the conservatorship. And we all know that she doesn't have custody of her two sons, which when that first happened, because she had those two sons with Kevin Federline, who was her backup dancer. And when he
Hmm.
became um the sole guardian back in the day, people were surprised because whenever a man gets the guardianship of a woman, then something going on with that woman. Because
Hmm.
normally they're gonna give it to a man, to a woman.
Hmm.
Sorry. My camera's having some difficulties, y'all. But Jane, can you just read this for people? This is actually what Britney Spears wrote, and the reason why lots of us think that she is pregnant.
Okay, so let's see. She says, I lost so much weight to go on my Maui trip only to gain it back. Shrug emojis. I thought, geez, what happened to my stomach? My husband said,
Wait, wait,
no.
wait, wait! No, no, you joking, right? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm so rude.
That's what she said. That's what she said. Geez, what happened to my stomach? Shrug emoji. My husband said, no, you're food pregnant, silly. So I got a pregnancy test, and well, you know what I mean? Like, this sounds like a 13-year-old writing in her, like, diary. I'm having a baby. 4 days later, I got a little more food pregnant. Pregnant emoji, covering eye emoji. It's growing. If
Oh my
two are
god.
in there, I might just lose it. Nervous emojis. I obviously
Oh
won't
my
be
god.
going out as much due to the paps getting their money shot for me. Camera emoji, like they unfortunately already have. It's hard because when I was pregnant, I had prenatal depression. I have to say, it's absolutely horrible. Women didn't talk about it back then. Some people considered it dangerous if a woman complained like that with a little baby inside of her. But now women talk about it every day. Thank Jesus, we don't have to keep that pain in a reserved proper secret. Emoji, nervous emojis. This time I'll be doing yoga every day. Yoga emoji, spreading lots of love.
Wait, I can't believe you read that whole thing.
That because it's just like this is a girl, a teenage girl writing in her diary. That's what it like when you go to her Instagram and you see her in these videos, you just like, my girl, I'm glad you free.
Oh,
And it's gonna take some time for you to get adjusted to being free. And I hope you continue to get better, girl. I always leave some hearts under there.
I had a video and I'm just like, I don't know where my video went because you and I, we have this thing about Brittany that we hate. We hate when she sways left to right.
She
Okay.
just be
Every
swaying.
other day she's trying on a dress and she literally just makes a post with her doing like this.
Yeah.
And I'm
Just
like,
back and forth. Like,
oh, I wish we had it here for the people to see, but what I do have is I just want to, you don't believe in this love?
I'll share my hold on, let me
This
see.
is the love you don't believe in?
Girl, you know how girl, no, no, I don't. And maybe I'm being overprotective over Brittany. It is what it is, but No, I don't believe in the love that you talking about.
I am so scared that this is gonna happen to her. I don't want her to be taken advantage of, but I feel like a lot of the fans have gotten Britney in trouble
Mm.
because they just wanted her the conservatorship to be over. I don't think that they really thinking about the fact that she may need some kind of help in handling. They just felt like she was being trapped. Maybe the rules should have just been different in the conservatorship.
Can you put her up on the screen? Look, I just pulled it up.
Sure, a picture of Britney or the video.
The video. It's down
Okay.
there in this backstage in the studio.
Oh, you sent it to me?
No, look down there where it says backstage.
Oh, I
Like, just
cannot.
look at that. Just look at her
Oh
just
my
swaying.
god, that is. Oh
And
my
that's
god.
all she do. Every video, she just, and it's like, come on, like, I'm happy that she is out, but it's not. Now that chocolate dress look nice with the swaying all day. Why sway?
And we
Why
and we
sway?
like Britney Spears. Don't get us wrong, but let me tell you something about Britney. She'll sway left and right like this, and it'll be 6 million likes on her
Hmm.
video for doing absolutely
You
nothing.
see, I liked it. I liked this joint, but yes, I did because because I want to check in on my girl. I want to make sure my
Oh,
algorithm always drop off what she got going on. So if I don't engage with her content and comment, it's not the more you comment and you like people's stuff, the more it'll be like. And I want to find out when she do something. I'm talking like 7 minutes fresh. I'm not trying to be 3 hours ago. Like no, I need to know. And she drop. And every time I get the news and it'd be the same thing. I'll be like, "Yay, Britney Spears!" And then I click on it and really sink into what she doing, and my mouth just dropped. Like Lord have mercy, she's still sick.
girl, every now and then it's a person where I'm reading what they write, and it's like, am I dyslexic or isn't that what it is? Where the words look like they switched up. When you read a post from Britney Spears, it makes your head hurt.
Yeah, it does. I'll
It
be
makes
like,
your head hurt, girl. She takes you into. She puts like three paragraphs into one,
look,
and
look at
you
this. The caption here it says, "Masterpiece, my ass." Here we heard. Have we heard? Thinking emoji. Her is third person. I prefer I, which is singular. Again, is it obvious? Good. Like, girl, what? What is you saying?
oh
Like,
baby, baby.
what is this? Have we heard her? I prefer I. It's singular. Is it obvious? Good. Like, ma'am.
I just, I mean, ain't no cousins or nobody. Like, I mean, she ain't close with Jamie Lynn, the sister no more, the mama,
No,
the
because
dad.
Jamie Lynn trying to use her. Jamie Lynn is trying to use her like so bad. She
Mhm,
wants the money. She want to do a tell all book and tell Britney business. First of all, we know enough. We know way
mhm,
more than enough. Jamie Lynn Spears doesn't get any attention, and it's this
mhm,
like competitive thing she does. Every time there's a headline about Britney, here go Jamie Lynn trying to say something to get
mhm.
some attention and to ride off of her sister's clout, and it's just disgusting. I'm gonna write a tell-all book, and I'm gonna be talking about Brittany and them, her team. Now, this is after she's free. Send her an NDA, like a
Mhm.
gag order. Like you cannot just sell a book based off of you trying to tell. Like that's exploitation. Like is you great? Like
But isn't it still like sad to see, Jane?
it's
Because we
terrible.
grew up and we saw Jamie Lynn and her in a lot of sweet moments.
Yeah.
And to see them kind of going at it like this, even though there's not a picture of Jamie Lynn,
She's a
but
leech and she's a liability too. Kind of like how Benzino is to Coyle Ray, his daughter. Like
hmm
he's just always going to say something, like you said, just like a rotten egg out the bunch, just always trying to mess up what's happening because
hmm
you a family member and you feel like you can just throw a wrench into the perception of things and
well, when
capitalize off of it.
I think though, well, you just brought that up, and I had a picture of Coley Ray and didn't load up. But the thing is that you brought up two people who have two people who are in the entertainment business, and they are family members, and one person is a bigger star than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm saying right now, Coley Ray, I wouldn't necessarily say she's bigger than Benzino's been because he's been in the business for too long. He's, had a magazine for hip hop. You know, he did do music in his own right or whatnot, but she's gonna be a big star, I feel.
Right.
And so if you look at both situations, Jamie Lynn, she had a show on the Disney Channel or she was a part of one, but she wasn't Britney Spears. So
No,
it's some type of maybe it's some type of unsaid competition there
it
because even
is.
though
It's
sometimes your family can
jealousy.
be happy for you, they still can kind of like if you in the same business, kind of like, well, damn, I've been doing this for this long, but this trick just coming here and running the show. I mean, Brittany's older, but Jamie Lynn could just feel some type of way and want to have that shine like a big sister.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's jealousy based off of the current, like regardless of what was like currently, like Benzino is still a household name to us, and Jamie Lynn
Mhm.
is still a household name for the kids that grew up down there. But it's a matter of who's more relevant and who has a higher net worth right now, who's more popular. And in both of
Mhm.
these cases, Jamie Lynn is nowhere near. She never is going to be anywhere near. But there was a point in time where she had all the spotlight, and that's where I saw the problem came in. I never there was no like tension between them. Nothing ever made it to the headlines.
Mhm.
Brittany was locked away for all that time, and we never heard from her. Jamie got the spotlight, and she had her peak moment, but she's not relevant now like that. But as soon as her sister started becoming free, or we caught the news that it was about
Mhm.
to end, and here she is trying to sabotage the little bit of a reputation, you know. But in the level of like respectability and the size of her fan base, like she was just trying to demolish that, and that's just credit. And it's the same thing that Benzino was doing to his daughter. And I just
Mhm.
feel like it's jealousy, or you just can't accept the fact that they more popping than you, like right now, or at all. They got more money than you, they're more important than you, and you trying to sabotage something. It's crazy.
That's right. It's Hawks, baby girl. What are your manners? Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to Kera Dangerous Talking. Thank y'all for being active in the live chat. We love to see it. We love, love, love to see it. Good stuff on that because we care about Britney Spears, but we don't been through so much with her. Any fan that's a fan that
Hmm.
you just you just I don't know.
I'm leery. I'm leery of everything.
Before we stop talking about her, just one more. Oh no, the video went away.
Oh, you want to see? Oh, okay. Hold
It's
on.
okay. I was gonna show her swear one more time.
There she go.
There
She's
she
still
is.
she's still rocking her hips. I like the way she rock her
Oh,
hips.
yes. Boom. Well, is she pregnant or not though? She's pregnant, right? Because she's happy about it.
I think so. I think she is. I don't think she knows how to. It's past April Fools. I would expect her to tell a joke like that on April Fools. I don't think she know how to troll per se. I think. Mm-mm.
And Sam is just her fiance, and they've been engaged for a minute, but she
Oh,
calls
she's
him her
saying
husband.
husband. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
husband.
think
It
people
had me
do that.
confused.
I've seen somebody else doing that over the last couple of months. Like they got the marriage date in the bio, which is 2023, but they stay saying my wife, and I'm like, okay, all right.
I ain't calling nobody wife or nothing or husband until that's where we at. Okay, that's where we at. Ain't nothing cute. Now to end this, I want to bring it back to something that you really, really, really love to talk about,
What's
and
that you?
you know who it is.
Oh Lord,
You know who it is.
child.
Will Smith. Have you gotten enough of him?
I'm more than enough, child. I'm so tired of people just dragging it. It's a new conspiracy every day. People find a new 40-second clip. Now we got more, 2-hour videos, and they come in the hundreds. You can't escape it. You swatting it away on your timeline all day long. Like, and it don't matter what timeline. I go to Twitter. Oh my God. Go to Instagram. Oh my God. Go to YouTube. Oh my God. Just go to the website to read the digital newspaper. Go to the Daily Mail. It's there too. Like,
Look, but this is the thing that makes it different for today, okay? And hopefully, and it got on my nerves too, but it's like something to get on my nerves, and they'll still keep jamming it down my throat. And then I'll see another point of view on this thing, and I'm right back in there. I'm right back in it. Not today. We all seen this man here, right? He always plays either a pompous. You don't know if he's pompous, but he always looks pompous. He always
Mhm.
looks like a smart ass, even if he doesn't say but one or two lines. He always
Mhm.
plays a character that's well dressed,
Mhm.
smart, and
That's
somebody
that
who you're
light
not gonna
skin
play
guy
with.
stuff. Light skin guy stuff.
Yes, you seen him on shows like The Blacklist, Billions, and even the Matrix movies. Okay,
Mhm.
his name is Harry Lennox, and he's an Academy member, just like Will Smith was. But
Mhm.
Will
Mhm.
Smith has gotten banned for 10 years. Now, the reason I'm bringing up this veteran actor here, who you never really hear about, but you know him, we all seen him in some type of movie. He had some comments to say because he pissed. He want Will Smith to be tarred and feathered. He said that he thinks that this is, I got to get my quote, is a toothless penalty against Will Smith, and he urged that the actor return his Oscar. He went even further to say that this is nothing more than an extended time out for a playground bully. And then he said that if Will Smith would return his Oscar, it would restore the Oscars, the award's honor. Okay. And then he also criticized the attendees who applauded Smith after he received his Oscars. And he also was quoted as saying that Smith's brutality stripped the entire evening of its prestige. So strong words from this guy that you never really hear from. And you probably didn't know that his name was Harry, but
Nope.
you've seen his face in the movies. What do you feel about his stance on this and saying that 10 years wasn't enough for Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars?
Um, how come when it comes to the pedophiles you don't feel the same?
Mm.
How come when it comes to Harvey Weinstein? How come when it comes to Woody Allen, I believe his name is? How come when it
Mm.
comes to the rest of these guys who are literally scumbags, like not just had a moment where they lost their cool and it's like, brother, go to therapy, all right, because it's clear, But
Mm.
I mean, people who really have victim upon victim, like have really done a complete and absolute disservice, and people still don't even have justice in the legal system for their wrongdoings. And here you are with this recreational,
Mm.
optional like situation, and you can't even stop it. That there have been
Mm.
way more the people, the January 6th, the January Sixers ain't even faced this much scrutiny.
And
Like,
for goodness sakes, the Oscars didn't even want to give y'all black but no Oscars for the longest time. I'm not. I get he didn't act right, but at the same time, it's hard for me to. I mean, I wouldn't just keep going on and on. Okay, even if he felt some kind of way, it's like he's got a comment after comment after comment, a playground bully. Um,
yeah, it seems like jealousy to me too, because
mhm.
does he have one?
I don't believe so.
I mean, yeah, I don't. It's and it's just like, dang, you look like you could be his uncle. To be honest with you, like, why you talk about somebody that look like you? Sometimes black people get to talking. No matter whether you like a dog, you just be like people that look like me, and we know what you mean. But like, nah, like y'all really look. The brother looked just like you. Like, why are you? Like, it's just
Mhm.
what's your reason? And like, it's just we had enough of the white outrage. This is a dangerous environment and I feel at risk. And y'all don't feel at risk when those pedophiles are sitting right amongst you, but like extreme violence, no, no, it's out of pocket. And that's why I'm just like, this is just performative at best. And at this point, y'all
Mhm.
trying to mull him over because they've caught flat. See, because they put out a headline that said, we asked that black man to leave our building and he refused to leave, trying to make him look like some type
Lies.
of like you lied. It came out that that's not what happened. You never asked him to leave. In fact, he was
Mhm.
asked to stay.
Yes.
So you had the lowest of all times in the 94 years in your existence.
Mhm.
You had um the lowest views ever in 94 years, and all of a sudden this year you rise back to the top because of this incident. So you benefited and you capitalized off of the relevancy. You're still, I mean, to this very second, you're still capitalizing. People going back and rewatching it. You capitalized off that. You didn't want to do anything at first because you liked it. That's why you let the headlines do what it do. How long has it been? 2-3 weeks later, and he's just getting the ban. That's only because the public is eating them up, and they're feeling the pressure from social media users who have been dragging them for weeks. So they're like, all right, well, we got all we need. Let's start to throw him under the bus, even if we got a lie. Let's say we asked him to leave and he got aggressive because he's a thug. No.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's a thug, right?
Right. No, y'all appreciated the shock value, but now you feel like you're depreciating for not speaking out against him. You seem complicit in this somehow. I don't got time. Y'all ain't diverse enough. It'd be different if y'all didn't have issues with diversity and inclusion. No, it's
and
not.
you give me 10 years? You know what? Will should have punched Chris Rock for 10 years. I mean, a slap.
Yeah, like no, it's not. And y'all haven't lost no value. I'm happy Samuel L. Jackson got his. I'm happy.
Off
And
camera.
Will Smith returning his doesn't. You know, they're acting like, oh, our value has depreciated. No, it isn't. If Will Smith turned his back in, we wouldn't be like, oh, okay, all these other awards and things are. Oh, it's the same worth. Just stop it. I think Whoopi Goldberg got the EGOT. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one part of a puzzle that really seasoned performers or people in the arts get to receive and brag about. That Emmy, the Grammy, the Oscar, the Tony. Like, that's a code that, you know, but it doesn't mean that y'all are worth all that to be acting like he just appreciated y'all shit. No, he didn't.
Exactly, because y'all don't got a boost in ratings.
Right.
So it's kind of like, yeah, he slapped somebody, but we also got the best ratings we've gotten and since when. So
right.
But I know you got to do something to show people that there's some kind of penalty.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be out there. Look, last topic for tonight, and we got to cover this because we hit on this in our last show. Transgender swimmer Lea Thomas, excuse me. You know, she's been winning awards. And the update here is that a group of former Olympian swimmers wrote a letter concerning Lea winning all these trophies and being able to compete. They wrote this letter to the NCAA, and basically this is what they said here. They said it's hard to express the anguish the women's swim community has experienced this past week watching the 2022 NCAA Swim and Dive Championships. On one hand, we feel we are witnessing damage to a sport that has transformed our own identities for the better. On the other, we have reconnected with each other in sisterhood after many busy years living our lives beyond the water's edge. And they also asked in this letter, do we have a voice? So this was sent in late March to the NCAA Board of Governors. So they just feel that, Thomas has a distinct biological advantage to compete against women just so that the NCAA can appease everyone. And these were those former Olympians' words. And I have to be honest with you, Jane, I'm very proud of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised that a group of women got together and actually said something.
Mm-hmm. It's that time. If we really have to embrace and appreciate those moments, especially like gatekeeping is not a bad word all the time, depending on like what the context are and what you're really trying to protect, as long as it's not discriminatory. But it's like it's extreme. And again, I mean, it was not on my 2022 bingo card to agree with Caitlyn Jenner, but if I'm not grateful, and also grateful that that is an individual who it's not like, oh, you don't know anything about this lifestyle. No, actually,
Yes.
There's been a transformation there.
I
And
wrote
so
the book on it,
whatever.
honey. So come with
Right.
something else.
Like, come on. I'm happy about that.
So shout outs to those group of University of Arizona swimmers and those former Olympians who wrote that letter. Because the thing is, yeah, we need to have more conversations on this, but the women should be able to voice their opinion, especially when now they're starting to place in places where they feel like they would have actually came out more victorious. So kudos to them. And this should give you all motivation just to keep on fighting. Keep whatever you are, just keep on fighting. Jane, I thoroughly enjoyed you for tonight's show. We went through a lot. So I thank you for joining me. And I just want to remind people to make sure, well, you could tell them how to go over to your page and whatnot.
Oh, you can just search Theplainestjane. I should be there somewhere when you search around in channels. And yeah, Theplainestjane with an E and not an A, although my cash app up there got the A. It's with the E.
Girl, you
But
get
that's
that
what
right.
my cash app. Well, see, somebody took the one that spelled just like my screen name. Somebody took it. So I had to get
That ain't right.
something, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what, and I'm pretty sure a couple of people still sent it to the regular one. And I'm like, but yeah, it was it's always a pleasure being over here, and I appreciate you having me on again.
Thank you. Look, yeah, I'm still waiting on my invite to come over there. Just throwing that out there. But
the way I put my stuff together, it's the timing. I'm like, it's so hard to give somebody a heads up because I can't stick to.
Boo! Not this way. Boo! Look, you T.I. now. Boo!
Please don't compare me. I'm itching.
Oh my God, Sharon, we appreciate the love. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Before we go, I found something random on the internet, and it's like one of the greatest things I've seen. And maybe somebody will do some homework and go watch this movie. If you've seen it, then cool. Let me know in the comments later under this video what you thought about this movie. But a hero ain't nothing but a sandwich.
I've never seen that.
Cicely Tyson, Larry B. Scott, and the fabulous rest in peace Paul Winfield. A hero ain't nothing but a sandwich. And for all you Southern people that's watching, a hero is a sub sandwich. I know that because I lived up north for over a decade. And I just thought that was funny as hell. I never seen this movie cover, but I'm like, I gotta check this out.
Right, because this sounds interesting.
And then for you to have two of the best black actors of all time, it's like, what are they talking about? Thank you, Just the T, please. Oh yeah, we miss Cicely Tyson, but she left. Oh God, she left an impact, right?
She did, absolutely. Yes. I loved it.
Yes, kudos to her. Plain Jane, I'm gonna see you again soon. I feel so honored and privileged that you came back on, and hopefully we'll connect again very soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And we out.
Bye.
Oh wait, no, I gotta hit this video. Let them know, Plain Jane. Let them know.
Okay.
Let's say you're watching Kera Dangerous talk. That's fine. I'll do it. Let's do it again, Plain Jane. Here you go. And you're watching Kera Dangerous talk.
I cannot.